guys, this is a special edition of Unsolicited Views with all women, giving our perspectives on some of the things that the guys have talked about. So I want to allow them to introduce themselves.
Okay, well, my name is Kashia. It was my idea to do the plus ones of the guys on the podcast. My guy is not on the podcast, but my bestie-in-law is Melvin. And he's my bestie-in-law because he's my best friend. He's my man's best friend.
Right.
Yeah, so he's my bestie-in-law.
Real clever.
Yes. Okay, so who's next?
Right, who wants to introduce
I'm Charelle. I'm John's wife.
Period.
That's it.
You want to go? Oh, I can go?
Yeah,
okay.
you got this.
I'm Amara. I'm Marcus' wife.
Nobody knows who Marcus is.
I know.
I was about to say
Palmer.
Palmer.
Yeah. He was a former member
Right.
of the podcast. Yes.
Where is he now?
With Tiki.
Good excuse. Good answer. And I'm Bree, Mel's wife.
Period.
And I'm Sid. Y'all hear me on the regular, so y'all are used to me. So we're going to start off with, why would a man want you? Outside of your career, any physical attributes or materialistic things, why would a man want to be with you? Or why do you think your man wanted to be with you?
Who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay.
So I've known Marcus for maybe 15 plus years. We met in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I've always been the type to like motivate him. You know, I think maybe growing up, you know, being both parents being from Nigeria, they've always like striving, like, you got to go to school, you got to do this, you got to do that. So I kind of instilled that in Marcus, even though he kind of already had that type of mentality, like, you know, just being from a single family home and being, you know, the only child. Mm-hmm. So he knew he wanted to go to school and stuff like that. But I think one thing that he will say that I do that he appreciates is just me lifting him up.
Mm.
Yeah, not to settle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that.
Yeah, that was sweet. Anybody else?
I'll go. It's similar with me and John. Like, we've known each other for a really long time. Mm-hmm. We met in high school, so we both ain't had nothing at that point. But I think for me, it's my spirit, like my soul. I'm a genuine, kind person. Like, I'm gonna have your back. I see you. I'm gonna have your back. I'm gonna hold you down. Like, we gonna go get it together. It don't matter. So I'm always somebody who was like attracted to people's spirits and like their souls and who they are as a person.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I guess for me, I would say I am a person of accountability. Mm-hmm. So, like, as far as my fiance, like, he always would say, like, when we first met and he would tell me about his past and all that stuff, the main thing that I got from it was that he was never allowed to be the man. Mm-hmm. He could never be the man. He felt like it was always like taking a back seat to whatever the woman wanted. Mm-hmm. So when he told me that, I held him accountable. Mm-hmm. Like, you said you wanted to be the man. Mm-hmm. So now here's your opportunity to be the man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because I want to be led.
Yes.
I don't want to lead. Mm-hmm. Like, all that, I get it. Mm-hmm. Like, independent, I got my own, this and that.
It's not
I didn't want that. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be led. Mm-hmm. Like, I was made from your rib. I don't want to be in the front. Mm-hmm. Yes, I want to be beside you, but I want you to be the man that you said you always wanted to be.
Right.
So
how did
here's
he
your
take
time.
to that? Did it take
he
him a
loved
while?
it. No, he like, it was like, as soon as I had that conversation with him, it like clicked and it set in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, this is what I was made to do. Uh-huh. But I never had nobody side by side, but let me lead. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of women these days don't understand that. Mm-hmm. Like, and you are side by side, but he's supposed to lead. Uh-huh. Yeah. You know, like, you're not supposed to be out here getting it by yourself and doing this and doing. No, like, the man's role is to lead. Mm-hmm. And if you're not ready to have a man lead, then this whole relationship and married life is not for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, because a lot of times people are like, well, why you getting married so soon? You didn't know him like that and all this stuff. I'm like, it's so hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to explain. But when
you
you like,
right.
you know.
like that, being
Somebody
equally
said.
yoked
Right.
is like really true. Like being equally yoked with somebody, like
That's
I've
no
never
joke.
had that.
Yeah.
Never. Like
Yeah.
this is my first time ever experiencing love. So if you see me on the first 48, you know, it's because I don't know how to handle it. You know, 31, the first time being in love it was challenging because I'm like, I can't explain that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't even have nothing to compare it to. I don't know. I'm like out here winging it.
Yeah.
You know, but like it's.
But speaking of what you said about like independent women, I had to learn that because I grew up with a single mother. I'm used to seeing her do everything.
Yes.
I'm used to doing everything myself. Like I don't trust
too.
nobody else to do it for me. I'ma do it. And it like I feel like it was recently, maybe within the last since we got married. We're gonna be married 3 years. But I'm like, oh, okay, he can do it. Like, oh, maybe I do like to be led. Like, maybe I don't want to have to do everything. Like,
Right.
not have to. If I need to, cool. But I don't want to have to do everything. Like, let him make some decisions. Let him be the man. And
Let him lead.
How are you handling that with motherhood? Because I struggle with that because my sister would tell me you're not a single parent.
Yes.
And I'm the oldest of 5, so I'm always kind of like you, like not somewhat similar. Like you know, my parents instill like Amara, instead of you being the oldest sister, you're the second mom. So like now that we have a child, I literally have to remember like I have a partner. So it's something I'm still struggling with, you know. So I wonder with you.
With
like,
me,
that
I've
going?
always wanted my kids to have a father because I didn't grow up with a father in the home like that. So I feel like when I see John doing something wrong or like I want to do it my way, I be like, Charelle, it's okay. He's the father. Like let him be the father. Let him do it how he wants to do it because Saint is still going to see that his father was involved. So I just literally have to remind myself like. Let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it.
I'm too much of a
he was putting his socks on the day the wrong way. I'm like this.
I'll fix it later.
I know.
At least he's putting the socks on,
Right.
Exactly.
At least he's being involved.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, I need to work on that because even like today with her swim class, her bathing suit was wrong. It was the other way around. The zipper was in the front. I was like, Marcus, what happened? He's like, it don't matter. She's still going swimming, right? She don't know.
No.
You're right.
Right.
You're right. Okay.
I have to keep myself from snapping too.
I know.
Because like it builds up and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
He's the father.
Yeah.
He's the father.
Yes.
It's
yes,
okay.
I
It's
know.
okay.
Okay.
But
Do y'all think that all men have the ability to lead or the desire to lead?
The desire, no. No.
But do you think that's a requirement for a successful relationship?
No.
It depends,
No.
right?
I agree.
Because it depends on what y'all want.
Right.
If y'all are okay with him not leading, then
Right.
it'll work for y'all.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But I feel like a lot of men have they say they want to lead, but they don't.
Right. They don't have the
Makes sense?
ability or the
Yeah.
skill set.
Right.
Yeah.
They
And some people
it
didn't
sounds
grow
nice.
up like that. They didn't see that in the household.
Exactly.
You don't necessarily know how to lead. You can say you can do it, but it's really not something that's just like an innate trait.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of couples now choose to be more of a partnership as
Yeah.
opposed to the man just being the leader. And I don't think anything is wrong with that either.
No, it's really not. Especially if they don't have the skill set, it's better to do it together.
Right. Yeah.
So it won't be like, oh, I'm failing at it, or the relationship is failing because you took a back seat to let me fail. Like if you see that I'm not doing something right as the woman, it is your job to step up and help, guide, and like.
I think it can still be a partnership though if the man is leading.
Yeah,
It depends on what leading means to you.
That's true. That's
so
true.
I feel like it can still be a partnership. And even if you've never seen it, if you desire it, like
you can make it
learn
happen
together.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So y'all kind of talked about like in situations where you had to like control your emotional reaction. Have y'all ever been in the situation where you didn't control your emotional reaction and it like had detriment to the relationship, like long term? They no longer chose to show up in that way, like, oh, I'm never going to put the socks on or something like that because of how you reacted emotionally.
I think so. I think it was like not spoken. So I could tell by the way he was moving that he's like, I'm never gonna do that again.
Right.
But he never said. And so it's crazy because some things are so old they don't even apply anymore. But he's still moving like it
That
was
way.
back then. And I'm like, babe, like we not there no more.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
We can move forward. We're here now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a man thing where they just be like, no, I remember that one time that this happened, and I'm gonna live by that for the rest of my life.
I thought it was just mine.
No, it's like Bible. Once you say something went wrong, like they will. I think, and maybe that's the difference between a good man and maybe not so good man. But if you have a good man, I feel like if you say something that went wrong, they're going to take it, dissect that shit, and they are going to be like, I will never do it again.
Right.
Like, and then you'd be like, well, hold on now.
But they're applying it in a good way. It's like they're applying it in a good way. Like you said this.
But they're going to take it to the, like,
to heart.
Yeah.
That is true. I never thought about it like that. Like, a good man will, like, take what you say and take it and be like, you know what, I just won't do it no more.
Yeah.
But those men out there that's not good, it'll be a constant argument.
That part.
They're gonna keep doing it again. Like, girl, you don't control me. You ain't the boss of me, and all that childish
And
stuff.
you will see it pop over again and again.
Like, who's the woman? I thought I was the woman. I thought I'm supposed to do that, and I don't even do that. So if I don't do it, I definitely don't want you doing it. But it depends on the caliber of the man, because I thought that my man was the only one that do it, but he holds on. Like, to me, it's holding on, because I'm not the type to hold on to stuff.
Right.
But Bree made a good point. It's really just him, like, trying to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Because he saw the way I got upset. He saw that the way I reacted. And by him being a good man, he just not going to do it no more. Yeah. But to me, I'm like...
To a point, it can be... like a negative, because if you've grown past that,
exactly,
if they holding you something that you know you were immature about, or you're not like that anymore, they still holding you to that, and I'm just like, are you gonna let me grow? Like,
yes, exactly.
Can we move up from this?
The conversation does need to happen again. Like,
that's what I was about to say.
It does. It does. And it depends on the situation. It depends on the circumstances, of course. But with that being said, like, as you grow together, especially through marriage, etc., like, you learn to talk a little bit more. You learn to communicate a little bit better. You learn to understand and speak each other's languages, right?
Right.
When did y'all learn that men need reassurance as much as us?
I think early on, though, because I feel like you don't even have to apply that to your man or your significant other.
Right.
I think that goes through just your upbringing in general. I feel like I saw that with both of my dads, my moms, you know, reassuring them, or like even with my little brother or my other brother, like, you just are constantly providing reassurance. Like, you got this, especially with it being a black man. Particularly that, like, in itself is just completely different than any of these other people. you want to make sure that they feel supported and reassure them that, you know, you got this, right? And I feel like I try and think about that on a daily basis. I might not exactly say it or speak it, but I feel like sometimes actions speak louder than words. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry, no, you go ahead.
No, I would say Mark Palmer is very good in communicating and letting me know that, you know, babe, I will appreciate it more if you tell me, you know, like, reassure me more where I'm doing right instead of wrong. Because, again, once having a baby, a lot of things were put on the side. And we're trying to relearn us again. And incorporating, you know, our daughter into our relationship. Because in the beginning, when she was born, I'm not gonna lie, the first month we forgot. Like, we would plan stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, who gonna watch TV? Like, we'll get movie tickets and stuff like that. And then also, like, 2 months in, my mom was just like, one week in a month, I will watch her. You guys have your time.
Nice.
Your time. So that really helped. And that's, like, even communicating and me giving him more reassurance, you know, regarding our family and even work and stuff like that. So. Yeah, he's made it sure to let me know.
I love that he let you know, though.
Me too, because most men won't do that.
And I'm like, can you please tell me what you need? And I feel like sometimes he's ashamed of, like, saying that he needs something, because he feels like he should have everything figured out and have everything. And I'm like, no, I can tell. And the thing is, you try to lie to me, but I can tell. I can tell.
You know, because you know your man.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Like, because you're like, you know something's off. Like, what is going on? Everything's fine. But when I'm in bed at night and I see you still, like, beep, going through stuff, like, what's going on?
Right.
Yeah, because I could feel it. It's just like, it just be like a feeling. And then he'd be like, no, I'm all right. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to ask you one more time. And after this one more time, I don't want to hear it no more. I'm not gonna ask you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he just look at me like, well, how you know something was wrong? Like soul ties is real.
Yeah.
Like I know you inside and out. Like like when you feel something, I be like,
I can feel
minute,
it.
I ain't eating nothing gassy. Like what's going on with me? I can feel you. Like that's how like how heavy it be, and it just be like.
And sometimes it turns into an argument because now you're pissing me off.
Yes, right. Now you play with my intelligence.
You don't want to talk about it, and I'm trying to give you the space.
Right.
Like especially for me, because I wasn't a big communicator. Not even big. I wasn't a communicator. I am a shutdowner.
Me too.
And I'm emotional, and I don't know how to like.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't want to say
you don't want to
say something to somebody you love so much.
Yeah.
And let it get taken the wrong way, because
exactly.
my words they can cut, and I think we can all attest to that, right?
Yeah.
So especially if you grew up in a single black woman's household, you know what to say that'll just hit the jugular. So sometimes like we have agreed to, and sorry Mel in advance, but we agreed to like a 24-hour thing, like because I do prefer to shut down because I have to process my thoughts. Instead of cussing you out like I would prefer, I'd rather just take it in and process what I need to say. So within that 24-hour time frame, I got to come back correct.
Okay, grow.
There are a lot of growth. I could go for days. And that's a silent treatment that he hates. And so like within the same day, we try and talk it out later.
See, that doesn't work for us, because if I say I want to talk about it later, he's like, but can you just tell me the topic? Because like it will drive him crazy.
No, he knows the topic.
You gotta know. Like, can you tell me the situation? But then if I tell him the situation, then he wants to talk through it. Then I'm like, I said to give me time. He can't deal with time because he'll just keep thinking about it all day.
But somebody got to.
But see, that's how I can't deal with time.
That's
exactly. Do you want me to like? Because I don't want to do that.
Okay, but I like the 24-hour thing because I'm not a communicator. Like I've become a communicator because I want my relationship to work and grow. But like all I knew was shut down.
Yeah.
Like that was like my defense mechanism.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut down because if I don't, it's gonna get ugly.
And it had to get hard, especially like during COVID when all you could do is be in the house. There were stay-at-home orders. So what room you want to go into?
I feel like now. Do y'all feel like because like I've been with John for so long? Now, do you feel like your past relationships have impacted how you communicate, or or like the communication problems?
Yeah.
No, I feel like mine like started from my dad, and like because my dad was never like really around, so I got so like used to whenever I did see him and all the promises and all that stuff, to like having like to shut down from that, so that way I don't really take it and like dwell on it, because deep down I know he not gonna show up. It started then, and I think that's why it took me so long to like give so much of me to a man. Like I have kids with men that couldn't even tell you who I really am, because I couldn't, or who I was at the time, like because I just couldn't. It was that wall, and I didn't know. I was like, that's why this life that I'm living now, being engaged, about to get married, being in love, I never saw for myself, and nobody around me seen it either. That's why I was like, you sure?
I saw it for you as soon as you guys met each other.
It was
like,
it
the
was
first
just
time
like,
you came around, I was like, oh, he's going to marry her.
and then boom, 6 months later, because it just was like for a while, I'm like, okay, maybe we need to not like be together every day, so that way we can know that this is real. Because I was like, what is going on? I didn't like it. I'm like, I don't like that. I'm
a lot
changing.
happening.
I like really like changed like a lot for somebody that was just a stranger 6 months ago. And the fact that I didn't hesitate,
but it was also positive. They were positive changes, right?
Right.
More than positive, it was just like it molded me into the woman that I am right now. And I'm like, I thought for sure I knew who I was before I met Mike. Oh, you can't tell me I don't know who I am. I was like one of them women that I'm speaking about that's like, oh, I'm independent, I got my own, I don't need no man. That's who I was, and that's who I thought that I was supposed to be. But then it was so easy for me to become this woman, and I'm like, well, maybe that wasn't who I was. Maybe it was just the wall that I was putting up. And it's just like, maybe it's a good thing that I didn't have to go through all the heartbreaks and all that stuff to get to where I'm at now. But I don't want to incriminate myself, but if you see me on the first 48, it's because do not play with me. Like how I feel.
Like, you never make it to that part. And we have gotten you out.
It's just like,
I got this episode like, right here.
Where was Kashia? I don't know.
It's just fortunate enough that I know my man, and I know like the most I probably have to go through is him stepping on my feet. You know, you leaving the refrigerator open.
Bruh.
That type of stuff.
It'd be little stuff like that.
No, it's really the bathroom. Like, I swear, like, my gosh.
It's
like,
funny.
you don't know you live with a man until you live with a man.
Oh my gosh, yes.
No, but I feel like Melvin is very. No, when I tell you.
You talking about clean or you talking about smell?
Oh, jeez.
Wait, what you talking about?
Okay.
Marcus and I never lived with each other until we got married.
Right.
And
Oh,
like I
you
said-
didn't know? You knew Palmer was.
So I thought I knew, but I really didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Mel could have
Because-
told you.
So that's the thing. Like, I want to say the first month of our marriage, I thought of Melvin. I was like, how did Melvin do this? With one back, how did he live like this? And it was like with Marcus, like even on our first place, we had 3 bathrooms. He used all 3 of them because he goes where where he's closer to. I said, Marcus, no.
Don't do that.
You cannot, because you don't know how to clean. And even when he tries to clean, he doesn't use any type of chemicals or anything.
It's not even worth.
It's not even
Mel
worth it.
he is really clean.
Yes.
But like we just have one bathroom.
But still, I'd rather have clean than smell.
Well, I mean, I can clean too. It's different living with a man. Like, let's just like that.
It is.
And like you're cleaning different aspects. Like Mel does a great job with like overall cleaning, but like you need a
But
deep
just
clean.
the-
like
yeah.
like
It's just the details.
Yes, it's like details.
it's and you do a good job. Because I know he's gonna listen, and I don't want him to stop cleaning.
Reassurance.
No, I know he's
Please
clean.
clean.
Yes.
Yeah, but my thing is washing the dishes and don't wipe the counter. It's just like small stuff, you know. It's just like
No, my thing is not washing. Like, we have a dishwasher right next to the sink. You have the plate. You don't even have to do nothing. You don't have to rinse it off. Just put it in the dishwasher.
Oh no!
Why are you piling up the sink?
Oh no!
yeah, definitely living with the man is like
I said if I'm gonna tell Tegan, I don't mind you living with whoever before you get married. I'm telling. I see why some people live separate
together.
houses.
Yeah.
No.
okay,
separate houses.
but you know what's crazy though is that they really say you don't know a person until you live with them.
That's a fact, though.
It
It really is.
The whole dynamics of your
Yeah.
relationship changes.
When y'all live together.
Absolutely.
And I thought I knew because he's lived with Melvin. He's had his own place, and I babied him because every weekend I would clean. Because I was like, there's no reason why I should be squatting in my boyfriend's bathroom.
That's very true.
Yeah.
There should be no reason.
Yeah. That's true.
And I was just like, so I babied him, and it wasn't until we started living together. I was like, dang.
Yeah, because
So I even told
shacking up
him.
is not a sin.
Oh
So.
no.
It's the act
No.
when you're shacking
No.
up.
No.
But like, you really don't know a person
You
until
really
you live
don't.
with them.
You really don't. And
Yeah.
I'm learning that.
So
But
how?
good thing that you like formed the love and the bond before you move.
Oh,
first.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I moved in with you a few months after, it would have been like, got some dough.
Or I probably would have still married him, but we would have lived separately. I'm
and
dead
had a
ass.
pathway to that.
Yes.
Like,
Like,
Palmer, there is a really nice back house.
Yes.
If you can stay there Monday through Friday, I'll see you on the
Yeah,
weekend.
it's like, that's for you. You can come in for dinner.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
What did you learn about men on the first like vacation? Did you learn anything good or bad about a partner, not necessarily your current partner, but for the first trip y'all went on together? Was there fights or negative things that happened because of that or no?
I would say one thing.
I don't
Palmer
remember our
is
first
down for whatever.
Yeah, so
That's
was
one thing.
John.
Mike is
He's
yeah.
down for whatever.
Yeah,
like,
and that could be a
he's
good
out
or
on
bad
vacation.
thing.
Right.
That's true. But
So it's funny because like we didn't have any like big things when we moved in together. Like
Yeah.
it was still the same.
Yeah.
And when we both lived with our parents
Yeah.
before we moved in together. So we never had our own space. So maybe that contributed.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
this was something for you both,
Right.
Like, and it's like
Right.
this is way better than coming from my parents'
That's
house,
true.
right?
That's
Quote unquote.
true.
Right.
I mean, there are some
right.
pluses. There are a lot of pluses.
Yes, there are.
But you know
I'll
what
come
I mean.
back.
Take me.
Yes.
I learned that I can do everything with my partner
Yeah.
on vacation. Like when we went
Oh,
on
yeah.
vacation, it was just like, yeah, I really don't need nobody else. Like we could go,
Yes.
like it's crazy that like,
Clubbing.
yes, like
Yes,
everything.
yes,
Like
everything.
like we may not be interested in the same thing, but we both are good adapters. Like we
Yeah.
can adapt. So it's
Yes.
just like, okay, if I pick a day and plan something, I know that you gonna
gonna
come
be
in
down.
and make the best of it, and we
Yeah.
gonna have fun.
Yeah.
You playing something, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like knowing that we can do and go anywhere together, and most people prefer us together.
Yeah.
They be like, "Is y'all coming?"
Right.
Because like I'm lit, he lit, so together it's a fire. Like
I know that's right. I know that's right, sis.
like we be lit, and we
That's
can go
funny.
anywhere and do anything together.
Right. He's actually my favorite person to do things with. Like
Yes.
trips,
Same.
everything. I'm just
Everything.
like,
Yes.
if I can't do it with John, I really
Oh my
don't
God.
know. It's cool.
Honestly, I would say that I'm probably the one that's more of the Debbie Downer because if I do not like water, like I'm a lay out on that beach. And
loves water.
Yeah, he loves water, but I support him. I reassure him that is okay.
It's okay.
You go in that water, I will be laid out with like several cocktails by the time you come back. But that's probably the main difference. Like when we go on vacations, like he's gonna be in that water until he's like shriveled, and I am going
And not.
no, I might step out in the water just to be like, "Ooh, I got you, babe."
Yeah.
Jet skiing, no, like I'm not doing any of that.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, I did jet skiing for the first time, and I was scared out my
I
mind.
love it.
Me
I
too.
love jet skiing.
I peed on myself and everything.
Well, you're in the water, so it don't matter.
I was scared. I was just sitting there.
Exactly. Like if I can't have my eyes closed, like
On the same
Yeah,
one?
that's the same thing.
No. Okay, so
You drove
I
your
went.
own.
I went like with my friends, but I was just saying like I'm not like a water person.
Oh.
But Mike
Is.
is, and then because he's so adaptable, it's just like he's down for whatever.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
he is and he isn't.
Yeah.
But I realized that Bree's birthday last year,
Mm-hmm.
that Melvin was in the water the whole time.
Yeah.
So I
he
do.
never got out.
He never got out.
Yeah.
He never got out.
They even said happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday from the pool. Like,
But I was glad that Bree is kind of like me because I'm like, I'm not getting in that water.
I think we got in there for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
We put our feet in there. We didn't go. I'm like all the way in the water. First of all, I can't swim. You know, I don't
love
really
the
like
water.
water.
See, I'm a water
I can't
person,
swim.
but
I can
can't
doggy
swim.
paddle.
Nope.
I
But
love the
I
water and I
don't
can
consider that
swim really
swimming,
well.
but
Like
I
I'm the person
love the
that
water.
I'm too far out,
Oh,
and
no.
somebody is like, "Can you please come back?"
Oh,
Like
wow.
you going too
All
far.
water
I'll put my feet in it with a
I'm
cocktail
down.
on the side.
I love it.
That's a highlight. That is a highlight.
Period.
If there's a swim up bar, you know where I'll be.
I can't wait for my honeymoon. That's the
I
first
will
thing I'm
find my
going
way
to.
to the swim
Yes.
Oh
bar.
my god.
See, I'll do that much, but I'm not a water person either.
So can y'all partners ask y'all to like wear certain things or do y'all hair a certain way, and you be okay with them making that request, or that you oblige to that request?
Yeah, if you paying for it.
Bree's laugh was like, "Yeah, okay."
It depends. Hair probably that'll take a little longer. for
Okay.
hair.
Okay.
To wear a certain thing, like for what?
Yeah.
Like,
if y'all going to an event together or something, he's like, "Can you wear this dress?"
well, I might ask him. Like, if I ask you, like, what do you
For
think
your
I should wear?
opinion.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with that one.
But if you already had a different outfit picked out, he like, "Can you wear this
Oh, no.
instead?"
Oh no.
Then you not with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
and then first of all, like
Wait a minute.
I trust my style
Yes.
way better than
Right, exactly.
like.
See, mine, I had started being like, if you buy it or you'll do it, and it kind of bit me in the behind because he actually does
did
it.
it.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't. He like, okay. So I'm thinking
Right,
like,
so
okay.
like-
So I'm thinking he like, all right, well, I'm about to do it then. No, like when stuff start coming in the mail, I'm like, what is that? He said, well, you said if I buy it, you. I'm like,
No, would never.
Oh my gosh.
but see,
So
it's
you
like
didn't wear it
different.
then?
Not when he wanted me to, because I'm like, you're not about to tell me what to do. Like, thanks.
I feel like that
I'll
makes me
put it
feel
in my
like a doll.
collection.
Like,
Yeah.
But
Like,
do
you
they
gotta
listen
dress
to your
me up.
suggestions when you tell them what to wear?
Yes.
well,
Yeah,
well,
they
then
should.
also
Right.
you
They
ask,
should.
like,
Yeah.
or you come downstairs and I give you the eye, like.
Yeah, that's
that?
not it.
The eye could
Yeah.
be one of or it could
Yeah.
be like even yesterday.
But see,
like
Mike listens to me because the guys, like, when he comes around, it's just like, yo, I know Kashia dressed you.
Because
You didn't have the style.
Mel knows every time. Like, he's like, Mike ain't never had these loafers on before.
Like, so he listens because
There should be a before Kashia and after Kashia, like, set of like a reel of Mike's photos.
Yes, it's going there. If you go back and
That's
look,
funny.
or if you've been around, you can see the difference. That, you know, that's why. No, I'm not going to listen to your ideas of what I should wear.
But
this is how you
Palmer
used to
and,
dress.
John know how to dress.
Yeah.
John is
yeah.
like he
he
be
can
putting it on.
dress. Yeah, he
Yeah.
can.
But I
That
mean, for
definitely
the most
helps.
part, yes, for the most part, yes.
For the most part,
For the
yeah.
most part,
ain't
I would
gonna
say
play
out of like the
that.
Burleys,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
Yes.
if Palmer,
he
like,
can.
Mel takes most of his clothes. So.
They be like waiting, like, okay, I like that. So Palmer can dress like Mike should take my advice. So I hope you're listening.
See, I take Palmer's advice.
Okay.
Oh,
I
very
do know that.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yep.
I'm very,
Yeah.
very chill. He's more, like, even, like, he would dress up, just check the mail, or go to Walmart. I'm like, what?
Right.
He was like, you never know who you're seeing? I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. So, like, for me, I can wear sweats, part of my scarf, and just go to Walmart. He's like, nah, you can't do that. Take that scarf off. I'm like,
Okay, I agree with the
Well,
scarf.
if someone's gonna dress you, that's like, and I don't have to put the effort into it,
Yeah.
and I trust what you're gonna say. Cool, that's a stylist.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's a
absolutely.
stylist.
Yeah.
Because he
But Mel
definitely
is
would
no
put me on.
stylist.
Oh,
Right, they have to have it.
Yes.
Though.
Yeah.
Like, he puts me on into things that I don't even know. Like, people would tell me, like, oh, you got the new Yeezys? I'm like, really? I don't
You're like,
know.
these are what?
Yeah. And they would tell me how much it is. I'm like, Marcus, how much you spend on those shoes?
Oh no, because let me tell you, when they lived together, Palmer had packages every day,
Yes.
all day. I used to be like, damn.
Yep.
Dang.
And I don't know, because I'm not really into fashion and, like, into shoes. So, like, I just think they're regular tennis shoes until someone tells me, like, no, he spent a grip for them. I'm like, really, Marcus? Really? Really? He's like,
I'm not gonna
"What?"
say anything. I'll talk to you outside.
So going back to like some emotional turn offs for men, are most of y'all partners okay if you cry, or does that like
Oh, he loves it.
he loves when you cry?
Well, not. I won't say he loves. He loves when I'm vulnerable because
Okay.
I'm
Oh, okay.
very
Closed off.
closed off.
Yeah.
Like, even when we started dating, I was kind of like you. I never communicate. I would communicate. Like, he was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Nothing." 5 minutes later, I would text him because I don't like
Yeah.
to argue.
Yeah.
I don't like having those type of conversations. Like, I'd rather text you. So, like, for him, he's the one that kind of drives me to communicate. So he loves when I'm vulnerable and I'm letting it out because I am not that type. I'm just, and I think it's my upbringing too, because Nigerian parents, they don't communicate. They just, it's this way or that way. It's mostly the men, you know, like it's this way or the highway, and then the women that just, you know, accept it. So I grew up seeing that. So for me, it was kind of like I was just shut up. You know, I was just kind of like eat that emotion, you know, until it gets to a point where it's just like
Explodes.
Yeah. Which is not. So that's one thing we agreed on when we got married, was like, we won't go to bed upset. We won't go to bed mad. Yeah. So even if like we had that 24 hour like you, at least we'll try to like talk a little bit just so we're not upset
Right.
going to bed.
Right.
So, yeah. So yeah, he
Like Mike didn't have like those rules, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like set in stone. But that's just stuff that he does. Like if he knows that I'm upset,
yeah.
it's like you're not getting no sleep, and I'm not getting no sleep
Yeah.
until we figure it out. Like, he knows like me now to the point to where different sides. He knows how to comfort me.
Yeah.
Like, because I wasn't a communicator, he's the reason that I am a communicator. So now that you got that side of me, you gotta know how to will me back in. You gotta know how to, cause it was like for so long I wasn't a talker. I didn't talk. I didn't express myself.
Yeah.
So now that I do, I be all over the place.
Yes,
it's like,
I done started something.
yeah. So now it's just like, well, you wanted me to be this person, right?
Right.
So now I don't know how to be this person.
Yeah.
So it's like now that we got like a handle on it, and I know how to not shut down, but not like overdo it.
Yeah.
That balance.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like I have a balance with it now, because at first there was no balance because I was
Yeah.
spitting fire, because I'm like I'm like, when I get upset I shut down.
Yeah.
But now that I had to work on it, now I'm like, okay, I can't shut down. So now it's just like everything that comes to my mind, I'm just
Right.
you know, he like, okay, I'm one person. I don't know what to do, but now I know how to control it. So I'm not like a crier when I'm mad. So when I do cry, it is like a sincere thing to where he knows, because I don't cry. So if you see me cry, it means I'm really hurt. Like my feelings is hurt. Because I don't get my feelings wrapped up in a lot of stuff. So when my feelings are wrapped up in stuff and I cry, and this goes for anybody, y'all, you know, so like the outside world, like if I'm crying over something that you've done, it's really because I'm hurt. Not because I'm angry and I don't know how to control it. It's like, no, I'm hurt and I don't know how to take the next step before I cry. Because in school I used to cry and then fight.
Let me wipe my tears real quick and then beat this girl.
Right. John told me when I cry, like it tears him apart. So, but for me, I cry for a lot of different reasons. So if I'm hurt, if I'm mad, like, and then when I was pregnant,
I think you cried at your baby shower. She was just thanking us.
I'm super grateful for things. So if I'm super grateful, I'm gonna cry. And it's like the pregnancy just heightened all of that. So I don't know how he dealt with that.
So that's what's like, was there a point where John's like, are you sad? Are you angry?
No.
Are you grateful? Which one is it?
Each time he was just like, what's wrong? Like he treated them all the same.
All the same. Okay.
All the same. But at the same time, I feel like through our relationship, because I used to shut down too, and I used to do the silent treatment for days. Now we don't do that anymore. Like we'll talk about it right away. And so through the relationship, and some things he would point out to me that was like, you acting like your mother, and I was like, ooh. Parts of that,
that's like not
parts of your mother you don't want to be, and I'm like, okay, that.
Don't
that
you hate when you realize that you are acting more like your mother?
Yes.
The parts that you were like, I'm never gonna do that.
I'm never gonna do. Yes.
And all I can do is laugh.
Right.
I'm like, Carol.
Damn. That's Carol. Really? Yes. Her name's Carol too. Don't listen to Miss Carol.
Because it might be like,
she gonna
okay,
listen to all of it. I just know.
Yeah, because it might be like, okay, Kathy.
Oh wow.
I'm like, don't play with me.
Not Miss Kathy.
I know. I mean, she is such an angel. She's so
She
sweet.
is. We love her.
But he don't be talking about that side.
Wow.
No, but I cry. I'm similar to you. I cry at anything.
Yeah.
Like I cry watching TV, like every day.
Yes, like I have to
Really?
control myself.
Yeah, but I think because he has a daughter, he's really good at just comforting me and then being like, but we still gonna have this conversation. Like it don't stop him from talking about what we need to talk about.
He's a little bit more careful.
Yes, he just be like, all right, come here, give me a hug, and then it's like, all right, now what would you say?
The other day I was crying because I couldn't get Saint dressed fast enough, and he was crying like he was screaming, and I was like, and I started crying because I'm like, I let him wait too long. Like I knew I should have got done earlier. I knew I should have did this earlier. He was like, it's okay, Charelle. It's okay. Like he's all right. He's asleep now. But I was like, he cried too hard though.
Like you don't know this cry.
Right.
This
It's a different cry.
It's too hard. Like I don't want him to be too.
Moms is so cute.
I don't want him to be too distressed. Not as a baby. Maybe as he get older, but as a baby, like they don't know nothing else.
They don't nothing. No.
You can't be too distressed.
Because if he ain't wet, he ain't hungry. You know, but it, you know, that comes with experience.
Right.
Yeah. And I think even having that partner letting you know, because, if I was doing this by myself, I would be an emotional wreck.
Oh my gosh.
Because Palmer is such a good partner in this, where he kind of reassures me, like, Amara, she's fine. Like,
she's fine. She's doing a good job.
Yeah,
like nothing's wrong.
She's eating.
Yes.
She's been, and I'm just like, don't let my baby cry.
Yes.
Don't.
But even watching y'all be parents, like specifically you two, I see how Palmer like reassures you like all the time, but like you pay so attention to details. You're such a nurturer. Like it's like if Tegan makes the little like, you're like, wait a minute. If I was like, she's fine.
She's fine. I'm like,
but it's beautiful to watch. I will say that.
Definitely having that opposite, because I can't imagine both of us being that way.
Yes, that high. Yes.
Oh Lord, glad I do, and I think also being a nurse, like I see
the details.
I saw a lot of poop on her. I said, Marcus, what's this? He said, oh, I didn't wipe it. I'm like, please wipe it. My OC said, her legs, you know, she'd be kicking. I'm like, you gotta learn how to.
Yes.
So like just
Bob and
train-
weave.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, listening to y'all too, I wish I would have did it the right way because like I didn't have that.
Yeah.
It was me.
Yeah.
So like listening to y'all, like actually having like somebody there outside of your parent, because mine was my mom. That was
Yeah.
my road dog. Like
Yeah.
she the one who helped me. But
Yeah.
like listening to y'all,
Yeah.
like really do it the right way. That's why if you don't have no kids and you single, keep it that way.
I wouldn't say it's a right and wrong way though. 'Cause
I'm not
sometimes you
saying-
don't know what you're signing up for.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
I'm speaking on having experience in it
Yeah.
and like listening to the other side of it.
Yeah.
Like doing it by yourself,
Mhm.
whether you signed up for it or not. Like
Yeah,
doing it by
that-
yourself
Yeah.
and like actually like
No.
listening
No.
to people
No.
I
that
can't imagine.
I couldn't imagine
they don't
either.
have to
Yeah.
do it
Growing up
themselves.
in a single parent household will make you realize, I think we can speak to that, how different it is. And although my mom stayed in, relationships, my father wasn't in the household. So
Yeah.
it was still very different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like my
Yes.
mom raised me as a single mom.
Yes.
Ultimately, kudos to you, sis.
Yes.
Mother.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
like I could never.
Serious.
Like, and that's why I was so, and I feel like my mom said, because I have I think I'm the only person like me, but I have step siblings and half siblings, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So with that being said, like I can see how my mom told me all the time, like, do not get married to somebody that already has step. Not that it's a bad
Oh,
thing,
no.
but it can really change
Oh,
how
yeah.
the dynamics of the relationship,
Definitely.
because you always got baby mama drama,
Yep.
and that can't go away.
Yeah.
That baby
true.
mother does not go away.
That's
Right.
true.
We love baby moms, but not all of them.
Not all of them, no.
But not all
absolutely
of
not
them.
all of them, no.
Yeah.
Because like it's definitely real, but like as far as that, it really goes depending on the type of woman
Yes.
that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like because like I know my place
Yeah.
and my position.
Yeah.
So I know also being a baby mother.
Yeah.
I know how to handle things and I know what to say, what not to say. And most of the time you don't say nothing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these women don't know that.
But baby mothers can be so impactful into your relationship.
Yeah.
And I feel like I watched like firsthand how
How
my
that works.
my brother and sisters, like parents, really affected and impacted my parents' relationships. Like immediately, I was just
Yeah.
like, this
It's
is
another
wild.
dynamic of
Yeah,
something to learn
you never
and
think
deal
about
with
that.
and-
You don't think
Yeah.
about that when you say, I'm gonna date this guy, I'm gonna marry this guy. You don't think about that part.
Yeah.
And
You
that,
really don't. You really don't. And I'm not tooting my own horn or nothing, but like my
Toot toot.
fiance, my fiance down to like my kids' dads in their relationships, like it could have been like very different if I was different. If I wasn't the woman that I was,
Yeah.
it would be a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to learn how to not say anything because a lot of stuff is just not worth it. And even on my end, as far as being the baby mother, long as my child is good,
Yeah.
and even sometimes if you feel like they're not, like you're not the only parent.
Right.
So when they're off with the other parent, I trust that they're gonna make sure my child is good because
Right.
it's not only my child,
Right.
it's their child too.
Yeah.
So when they would, I'm not calling, I'm not popping up. You ain't gotta worry about me. When she
bring
come
my
back,
baby back in one piece.
she better be smiling, laughing, and happy.
Right.
That's all.
And long as she's those things, I'm.
We're good.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, I love that dress, girl. You look good today.
Not I love that dress.
I mean, that's how I am. Like me
Yeah.
and my daughter's soon-to-be stepmother have a nice relationship.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later.
I just want to reiterate that I could never. I
Some
don't know
people
how
can't.
you did that single mother.
Yeah.
Like that single.
It's not
Me and John
easy.
talk about it all the time. Like, how do people do this?
Seriously, no.
How do y'all do
Dude,
it?
the first month, I want to say I thought about single moms. I thought about
Yes.
teenage moms.
Yes.
I'm like, this is for the birds.
Right.
Like, one-
I watch
I'm
Teen
like,
Mom all
done.
I'm like,
TV all the
people
time.
do this.
People do.
People do it. Like,
Yes.
and they have babies on purpose.
Purpose?
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Girl,
And even
slay.
and I even have friends that have frozen their eggs, or some that have actually like unfrozen their eggs to be a single mother.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you sure?
Yeah.
Like, we have had plenty of conversations.
It's
no joke.
And people think it's like about like money being stable and all that stuff.
No.
That has really nothing to do with it. If you still doing it by yourself, I don't care how much money you got.
Right.
Well, at that point, if you have that much money, you really just have a nanny 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being
That's
honest.
true.
No,
Well,
like, so
you're
you're really
not
not doing
raising
it
that
by
baby,
yourself.
sis.
Like,
Yeah.
you're
You ain't raising that baby.
you're
Hire help,
really, you're
but
really
it's
not
help.
doing it
And
by
I
yourself.
understand it because you can afford it. Why
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I would have a 24
But
nanny
still,
living
it's
nanny.
that level of emotional support too, though, too. So even if you
That's a
hire
big
someone,
deal.
it's still not the same as that emotional.
But you
like,
know what's
true.
crazy though? When you're a single mom, and because you don't have like that other side, you think that this is how it's supposed to be. Like it's like because you don't have nothing to really go off of, especially if you're coming from a single household.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if this is all that you had, that you don't know that
True.
you're not supposed to be like
But that's what-
emotionally in it by yourself. You're not. You
Exactly.
don't even think that the man is that emotional in it.
Yeah.
But that's
don't
actually
have
what I thought, because I never desired marriage, because it was just me, my mother, and my sister. So I never desired marriage.
knew
I
it.
always wanted to be a mom though. But not
why?
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, who am I be a mom with? I need a man to be a mom.
But I have a lot of
But-
friends like that
yeah.
still to this day. Like that
Wow.
desire to be mothers, and I don't know why, but y'all like that. But desire to be mothers before being a wife, and I mean, I never really saw it either. So
I think it's
Yeah.
because also like it's hard to find a partner. So if you want to be a mother and you're struggling to find a partner, it's like, well,
that's
at least
true.
I can go get a sperm
Yeah.
from the
Right.
bank and do this
Yeah.
by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it too.
I worked at an infertility clinic when I first moved to Virginia, and the amount of Black women that were seeking like treatment because they did not have a spouse or a significant other, but there weren't enough sperm donors. Hello, African American males. If you
it's a
have an
shortage.
undergraduate degree, go get those coins if you want to.
Yeah.
It really,
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's
Yeah,
a
no,
shortage
even for
of black male
even,
sperm.
but
They will give
Black
you
males
money.
but even
Really?
for women, my eggs were well sought after. Yours will be too, depending on the age bracket. But the fact of the matter is, if you're between the ages of like 26 and I want to say 31, 32, with a bachelor's, master's, and even if you go to a doctorate,
I have a low BMI though. That's what got me.
well, that does play a role, but I'm just saying the positives. Like if you do, like you can get like a lot of money really quick. And I knew some Black women that came in there just to like pay off like student loans and stuff like that.
Wow.
Because
They
if
give
you
you
sell
like
your eggs, you get a lot of
$7,000
money.
for an egg.
Yeah, it's
Does it trip y'all out that you like your child could be out there somewhere?
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't do it, but it does. I do see how that could trip you out, but in the same token sense, I feel like you see it as like I help someone. Because
That's what I-
Yeah.
I don't think that person technically
That's
should
true.
never be able to.
No, you can't do nothing.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
adoption is different, but for those things, situations like if you saw the women that were really seeking like the ability to have a child, and they can't because they're infertile, or the other way that they want a child but they can't find a partner because that's so lackluster in the DMV area as well. I mean, it was, but just specifically for Black people, like we don't have that as much as like the other people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that
Yeah, me
because,
neither.
and I've always been so thankful that I could conceive on my own, or like just easily like that. 'Cause
Yeah,
Sam
yeah.
was not planned.
Yeah.
But
We knew it, sis.
so when you say it like that, like you give that gift to someone else, like that is dope. Then
Yes.
go get your monies.
Get the coins. If y'all want another clinic, I can tell y'all later.
Text it to me because I'm fertile. I got a lot of eggs.
Got a lot of eggs.
Wait, okay, so and then to that extent, and then I'm gonna be done with this little bit. But there was one particular woman, because if you carry, like I think Candy did it. There's a couple like celebrity, Kim Kardashian, like those types of people. If you carry, you can basically make your yearly income. You don't have to have a job.
Right.
You really just carry
And
people.
I've considered that.
There's one.
And until I had Saint.
Yeah, no, there's some people
and
that
all
just
that,
do it
yeah.
very easily. Like I feel like they actually showed Candy's surrogate on Real Housewives.
Oh, really?
But
They
yeah,
did.
but
Yeah, they
they
did.
make, like, I mean, now you can just imagine what Candy's surrogate was making, but like on average at my clinic you were making like $75,000 to $80,000
Wow.
Wow.
to work 9 to 10 months
Yeah.
Yes.
for just carrying
And
a child.
you could still work a full-time job if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my
you
God.
are putting your body through
it.
like,
But no, that was like,
You're
and that was like her
risking your
second.
life.
Yeah.
That was her second time doing it. I was like this. I was just sitting there like, wow. So you really just gonna keep doing this? Like,
Wow.
she's like, I just love it, and I was like, wow.
Wow.
I couldn't imagine going through all of that and then like giving it away.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's
it's
not
all-
yours, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like actually like having a baby.
Yeah.
Well,
a
that's.
lot.
I think a lot of them have to go to therapy because you have to
Yeah.
prepare.
Yeah.
But
For
I
your body
think
to
it's
go
like
through
the
all that, and
person.
then you
Wow.
not carrying it.
I
Like,
think
yeah.
it depends on like actually like the person. I know for a fact that I could not be
a
a
surrogate.
surrogate.
Yeah.
Like not because I would want to keep the baby. No, not at all. I don't want to carry it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't
That's
even
what
want to
I
carry
was like. I
mine.
was like, so do you pay for my what is it called? The
Mommy
mommy three?
makeover?
The mommy
Yeah.
makeover.
Yeah,
Because if that's included, then we could
Then
talk.
we can-
Like,
yes.
I
but
ain't gonna lie, yeah. If you would help me get sucked, plumped, and popped, I would do
The
it.
insurance that you have probably would help.
No,
cover that,
I'm
though.
talking about
think it's
no
cosmetic, though.
cosmetic.
that's kind of cosmetic.
Yeah.
I need you to suck it out, give it away.
But I'm sure you could write that into the contract.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
most
sure
of the
you
people that are
can.
paying for surrogates is out of pocket. They got
Yeah,
big coins.
you
Yeah.
have to. I
true.
would do it to get a
That's
makeover. after.
The last thing I wanted to go back to today is just you were talking about how thankful y'all are to have the emotional support. How do you create emotionally safe spaces for your partners?
That's a good one.
I think you have to know what an emotionally safe space is for them 1st, and then be willing to adjust. Because sometimes, like, what they need can be an insult to you in a sense, because like I haven't been doing that, or it's like I feel inadequate because I haven't been doing it. But it depends on what they need. So if they need you not to pop off when they say certain things, then
Right.
don't pop off when they say certain
Which
things.
that's a problem for a lot of women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I had to learn that. And like, I feel like deep down, I wanted him to feel certain things at certain times instead of letting him feel what he felt at the moment. So I had to let go of that too. Like, he's his whole own person. I'm not like in control of him or
Right.
whatever. Like,
Right.
I
As
have
much
to
as
let
we
him
want
be.
to.
I know. I have
Yeah.
to let him be who he is,
Yeah.
accept him for that, love him for that,
Yeah.
and then give him space to be that instead of being always so critical.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be critical.
It
Right.
is.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely is.
Yes, but I think I can speak for most of us in here. I feel like we are very type A critical, and that with that being said, you try to give your significant other space, but sometimes you just be like, but if you just
Right.
Do this, we wouldn't have this
come
problem.
on.
Right.
yeah, I know
Exactly.
It's the little things, but
Yes.
I would agree with that. The whole critiquing point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm still working through, and I think that's going to be a lifelong journey. Sorry, Mel.
But at least you know it, and
I
you're
am fully
working on
aware.
it.
I
Yeah.
am fully aware. Like I know how.
Yeah, and so does he. And that's how I feel like because like you know these things about me already. And you decide to continue. You decide to put a ring on it and marry me. So that means that you're down for the ride.
You down for the ride? I love it.
Also, something that helped me was like, I think he said, "What if I was that way towards you?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, yeah, I wouldn't like that." Like,
I
I
know.
always say that. I don't like that. Like if you not, so don't do that.
I'm different because I dish it because I can take it.
Yeah.
So it's just like I want you to.
But Mike wouldn't do that.
He not. But I'm just saying, I'm equipped to like handle it
To take
if
it
he
if need
did,
be.
like but he's not, and he doesn't, So
because in a way, when we're critiquing, though, we're saying who you are isn't okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not accepting you.
Yeah.
So if he didn't accept me, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that's a
That's
a
a problem.
problem."
Right.
I don't like that. That don't
Yeah.
feel good.
I mean, I feel like it's like a
So
give
I have to be
a
like,
give and
remember that,
take.
Sherelle,
Yeah.
before you say something. When you leave your shoes in front of the door.
Ooh.
You got big ass 13 size feet, my nigga. We have to walk through the door. Like,
Yes.
I'm tripping
Yeah.
over your shoes.
Yes.
I digress. That was a little tangent.
But one thing someone taught me, she's much older, she's like, I think beginning of our marriage was like, pick your battles.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Lord.
Yeah.
But that is a.
That is because when I say this so I've learned to do things to accommodate me. So like, for example, toothpaste, I no longer buy the ones with the cap you just take
Oh
off.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, like you
I
gotta
don't
flip
want
it up.
this.
Yeah.
You just close. You know, dishwasher in my life, like I've never used a dishwasher machine. Even though we've always had one, my parents are just like, no, you
They
wash the
wouldn't let you.
dishes.
Yeah.
Marcus, you can use it. You can use a dishwasher. So like I've learned to do things to accommodate myself, so I'm not picking and choosing. Because even when we bought our house, like I made sure that we chose separate sinks.
Okay.
That was I
You
had to.
Yeah.
I had to, because there was many times where I was late to work because I was cleaning. I have OCD. I know it. He knows, and he knows it as well. I'll wake up cleaning the sink.
Wow.
So I said, I know at least we have separate sink. I don't have to see it. It's out of sight, out of mind. I'll just see it when I come home from work or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like that's one thing I'm learning. Is
That's
to
a good point.
pick my battles.
I think I still need to learn that because I'm gonna say everything. Everything.
Yep,
I'm gonna say.
No, I definitely. And we both work from home now, so we are.
How is that?
It's
Does
a
you have one
constant
level and he has
adjustment.
other level?
Yes,
Okay,
but I
good.
mean, I hear all his conversations. He probably hears all of mine, and
So you guys texting each other like, can you quiet down?
no, I shut the door. Like, I mean, like it's just an adjustment, and I feel like he's always so adaptable, and I am not.
Yeah.
And I'm just
He
like,
is. He definitely is.
but going back to your original question, creating a safe space. I feel like
that was the question.
Yeah, I think that was the question.
Yes.
Right? Okay, I got you. I feel like our home is the safe space. So I feel like I should be your safe space. And I feel like if you can't talk to me or don't feel comfortable around me, then I'm doing something wrong.
Right.
So I just never, like, even when I'm being a complete a-hole, I never want him to feel like he can't talk to me.
Right.
Because ultimately, if you can't talk to me, where you
Who you going to?
Where you going?
Exactly.
Harpo.
Right.
Like, so I feel like that's my goal all the time, because even though, and I know I can hold in a lot, similar to how we all are. Like, I can hold in a lot. But ultimately, I'm going to go talk to him before I talk to anybody else.
Right.
Besides God and my mama.
Yeah.
Like, that's just it.
Yeah, the mama thing. I definitely go to my mom first.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that I'm not overreacting or that it's really me and not him before I take it, to him, because like I said before, sometimes I don't have no boundaries.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do have to like my mom is the voice of reason for both of us. So my mom really became our safe space. Like, she's like the person that is, yes, she's my mom, but she's now your mom too. So just like she's gonna go to bat for me, she go to bat for him. Like, she'll call me up in a heartbit. Like, what did you do to my son? Like, what's going on? Like, so it don't just be
beautiful.
like,
Not all moms are like that.
That's a good thing to have.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, whose side is you on? What's going on here?
Yeah.
But I just love that she is that safe space for us.
Yeah.
Because, like, this is, like, new. Like being emotional and being needy and all that stuff that I despise. Like, that I try so hard not to be. Now that I feel like I have to be, it's hard. So my mom knows me the best. So we created my mom to be our safe space. Like, our middle person, to where it's just like, if I'm wrong, she gonna let me know I'm wrong.
Right.
If he's wrong, she gonna let him know he's wrong.
Right.
So that way we can come together, but with clear minds. So that way we're not like bumping heads all the time. Because before she became my safe space, that's how I was.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, I'm not gonna keep battling with you. I'm not gonna keep doing this. So I was shut down, and I wasn't his safe space. And I'm just grateful that my mom, he felt like she could be.
Right.
Because he's the reason why my mom is our safe space. Because I'm like, thank God he went to my mom and not
someone else.
homegirl down the street. Right. That's how it could have been.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So if you don't create that safe space for your man, like Bree said, he's going.
They're gonna either find it somewhere else, or it's gonna bottle up and it's gonna explode.
It's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Especially if both of y'all have the tendency to bottle things up and don't talk about it. It's gonna be an explosion.
Do y'all think that is like particular to the Black community, or just relationships in general, as far as bottling things up and not talking about it?
I feel like that's probably just in general.
In general,
Yeah.
especially with all these reality shows. If they not acting,
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the
all
question?
around.
What bottling things up?
Yeah.
Is it more so our community, or is it general in relationships?
No, it's a fact. There's multiple studies. It affects African Americans at a
More.
astronomical high rate. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. We're actually talking about this in one of my classes. Especially African American men, and this disparities faced against them on a daily basis. You know, just like when they walk outside the door. So they just deal with so many more emotions that. So if you even compared it to the other people,
they do it just not at the same level.
It's not, but their bottled up emotions are like, man, I couldn't get gas down the street today. Like it's really different. It's significantly different. Whereas like our men are really worried more so about, am I gonna get shot? Am I gonna get pulled over? Am I gonna die? Because I think something in particular that always bothers me is that, you know, like Mel's like a stocky guy, right? And even though he's the biggest teddy bear, when he goes outside every day, niggas see him as a big black man, and
he got that beard.
Yeah, it frightens the shit out of me. But he's always like making sure that he's extra nice, extra like.
And it's like, why do we
have to do that? But if I talk to the other people, that's not what they're worried about.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, because today, Palmer went to go get his haircut. He took Tegan with him, and he got pulled over because the registration expired. So the officer asked for his insurance card, and it was in his cell phone. And he had to second guess, like, wait a minute, my cell phone's in my pocket. So he had to like let the officer know, like, my cell phone's in my pocket. I'm grabbing it right now, just to let you know. So for him to even had to communicate that and say that, and then the officer had to get back up, knowing that Tegan's in the back seat. And all of that,
and that's
just like.
And that's what that's particularly what I'm talking about. And even like just having your husbands having their kids with them, like
it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't
matter.
Because that you would think that would de-escalate some situations,
but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
And then I mean, you know, you're raising a
black son.
Exactly.
And I was just, it's funny because I was just thinking, if he gets killed, I'm blowing this shit the fuck up.
Just tell me when, so I can move to Nigeria.
No, seriously. It's crazy that you mentioned that, because like I treat my little sister and brother, they are not my kids. I know that, Biggie and Nikhil, but I don't play about them. Everybody knows that I don't play about them. But Biggie got pulled over recently, and I literally was like, so I'm going back to Amherst, New York, blah blah blah. Like I'll be there in this many hours, because I was just like, I will them up. Like, and I'm like, what is little old me gonna do? But I'm going out like set it off in this bitch. Like you don't think, like all you see is red when you think about your loved ones, right? And I can't imagine like actually having a son and I'm going to jail or I'm going to die. Like that's it. There's only two options.
It's only two options. And it's just crazy we have to even think like that.
And have that talk and stuff like that. It's like,
but I think that's even more of a reason why we have to try to create safe spaces for our partners and our kids. Because that's a whole nother.
That's another level.
That's
another level.
Seriously, and I think that's one thing I want to instill in our kids, because like I said, the type of family dynamics that we grew up in, I couldn't easily talk to my mom like, hey, I want to date this guy, I want to do this and stuff like that. Like that was a no-no. I want to create a space where, you know, our kids teaching like, Mom, this is what I want to do. You know, I don't want to sneaking up on, like I was sneaking around the house. Oh. Girl.
There's a mic.
I'm grown now. But yeah, like I don't want her to have to do any of those things. Like just to simply go to the movies. Like my parents were very, very strict. Which was, I can see why. But I wish they would have loosened up just a little bit.
But I'm not sure about your parents, but like my parents significantly changed as they had more kids.
Oh, of course. Yes.
So I'm like, I'm the oldest. I'm over here like, this is a bull.
Seriously. My youngest sister went to a hotel party. My dad actually took her.
Dropped her off?
Dropped her off.
Didn't go to the room?
Didn't go in the room. I was like, and I had to remind
my mom would have stayed for a while.
Hello. My parents are African, so they're oblivious to a lot of the things. They're like, oh yeah, Chris was at a hotel party. I'm like, who took her? Oh, I did. Wait a minute. You didn't let me even go to the movies at 18 with my friends. And she's at a hotel party that you dropped her off at. And when I knew the hotel, I'm like, that ratchet ass hotel? Are you serious?
That's hilarious.
When I tell you, they really get lackadaisical.
When I guess I came in at the right time, because I am the third of 6.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you were in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm the only girl.
Oh.
That's a fact.
Oh yeah, that's
So I had 5 brothers growing up. Rather 3 of them were younger.
Yeah.
It still was a nightmare. So it wasn't so much my mom that I had to worry about.
Yeah.
It was not even my brothers being overprotective, but just them being nosy. So it's just like I wouldn't get invited to stuff. So I didn't even have that problem of my mom having to drop me off. Because Kashia was left off the list. Because everybody, like, she got 5 brothers.
Kashia was left off the list.
So how was dating for you then?
Okay, so the only thing about it is that I always held my own.
Yeah.
So it was more so like,
They wasn't worried about that.
no, because I'm going to pop off first.
Yeah.
You know, so any
Probably
guy.
because you was raised with 5 brothers.
Yeah, like you ain't gotta. She all right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then some guys would think, okay, she has 5 brothers. So
I'm
it
not
would
even gonna try
just be, exactly.
Yeah.
Not knowing that 3 of them were, younger.
Yeah.
But after a certain age,
Right.
they were giants.
Right.
Compared to me. So it's
Yeah.
just like, I got to deal with not only you in
Yeah.
your mouth.
Yeah.
I got to deal with 5 of them
Yep.
that
Don't
could
want those
potentially like be like you too. Oh
Yeah.
no. So I made it out. It wasn't even like my mom had to deal with it.
Yeah.
She had to get me out of a lot of stuff
Oh wow.
because I was just
Going
that
back to your
girl.
safe space question though, I feel like having the strong black families will have the strong black community. Like
Yes.
the family is the heart of
Yeah,
the
foundation.
community. Yeah, the
Yep.
foundation of the community. So if we continue to like create those safe spaces for our men and then later on our children, like
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
Nothing
I
but
feel like
greatness
our
can come
family
from
does a
that.
really, really good job of that. Like, they make sure that you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
comfortable as possible
Yeah.
to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes overly comfortable. Like they'll just be like beat it in your head so much that after a while it's just be like, well, maybe if I stop fighting it, they'll leave me alone about it. Maybe I should open up.
How do you guys
And-
feel about putting your kids in therapy? Before
I'd be all
before
for it, 'cause
things.
I don't want to mess them up.
Before
before
things
stuff
happen.
happens,
Yeah.
like as preventative.
Yeah, so like
I never thought about it.
yeah, so
Can
one of
somebody
my
pop that
one
other
of my
bottle?
Oh,
It's a bunch of wine bottles over there too. It's wine, tequila.
Oh, I don't know how to
bourbon.
open it.
so like one of my friends, she automatically put her kid in
How old is
therapy.
her kid?
I want to say 10.
Yeah, they probably already
Yeah.
had some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
nothing's really like
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like nothing's really
Nothing
going
happened,
on.
yeah.
But she wanted to create that space.
That's
Like
a
if you don't
lie.
want to talk to me,
At 10, you
I
got
mean at
something.
10 you got something like maybe
you got,
like
you already been
you know
something.
something like too boring.
And you might not have
Yeah.
realized.
'Cause nobody,
that.
like
Yeah.
Charelle
Yeah.
said, I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
Why would I think about putting my kid that never experienced anything,
Yeah.
nothing happened in my household in therapy?
Well,
But
I
sometimes they
would
don't
just
wanna
because
talk.
I know how I was at 10 and I could have benefited from talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Even though I grew up in a 2-parent household, nice house, all of these things, you wouldn't think I'd
Y'all be the ones
anything.
though.
Yeah.
Not y'all.
But like I could have benefited from
Yeah.
being in therapy
Yeah.
probably even earlier than 10.
Yeah.
So I absolutely would be all for it. At 10, like you probably have already been in some kind of feeling that you needed a safer space. And if I didn't feel like I created or I figured out enough of a way to create a safe
try this
space, then
for
I'm
you.
absolutely willing to put them in therapy so that we
Okay.
can figure that out together.
And that's what I was about to say.
want.
Yeah, if I feel like if I've created that safe space to where me and my child have that open communication,
I
which
was
is
just
what
about to say
I
that.
really hope I can do.
Right.
But
That's
you
what
know,
you
sometimes
strive
strive
You
for
always
it.
hope,
Hope,
right?
hope
Yeah.
for it, right? But
Thank
I
you.
don't know. I never thought that's a good point.
I guess for
I
me,
guess-
my
I
like
would.
I had the type of mom that always made it a safe space. Like we will have family meetings.
Oh, for
On
real.
the, yes,
Okay,
like
bottle.
Yeah,
that was
that is
one
nice.
thing that we did. We used to have
hated
family
family
meetings all the time. I used to hate them too, but now looking back, it was like
Nah.
very beneficial.
That was not my
I
thing.
feel like I feel like I couldn't open up as much as I wanted to in the family meetings.
For real,
You
girl.
probably
Yeah.
did more like one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because something that I feel comfortable with more with my mom than with my dad. But my dad would be like, family meeting.
Why do you sound like him?
Seriously. Like, everybody's like,
Why does that it's like different though?
Yeah.
Of growing up in a one-parent household.
oh, yeah.
You know, like it was just me, my 5 brothers, and my mom.
Yeah.
And because it was so many personalities under one roof, it had to be like a family meeting. Yeah. But after a while, the family meetings became like organized. And stuff and, it was so organized to where it was just like we come in, okay, everybody already know Kashia's gonna talk first.
And the longest probably. What you gotta say?
And I always got something to say. So I'll sit and wait. Like I go first because I was the only girl, so I guess my mom thought that I had the most issues, which I probably did. So I would go first, and then it would just like go in order. Yeah. Like, and it just became like real life therapy. Yeah. So where that's what I'm saying. Like I probably that wouldn't be the first thing I would do for my kids is put them in therapy. I would start at home first. Yeah. Like, okay,
but those meeting. Conversations don't happen often.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And I think a lot of times there's big elephants in the room, and I feel like I go through this with my family currently that aren't addressed, and that's specifically just in the Black family. Yeah. Right. I would say there's probably a couple other minorities that deal with that as well, but not those other people.
The others.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
Yeah. I think it's funny because, like, for my household, we still don't have an open environment of talking. Like, I think it was just all, like, you grew up all this time, like, don't date, don't do this, don't do this. And now it's like they want to know everything. My mother added him on Facebook last week. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, what you doing? And she's like, because I want to know more about him. I'm like, for what? Right, but it's like you asking me to do something that you never set up an environment for us to do. So it's just weird. Like, why are you asking questions? Why are you inviting him out to dinner? Like, what are we doing? Yeah. And so it's like I understand why, but it's like, give me a second because you ain't create that space. So we have to work on creating it. So all I want to do for my children is like, I want you to come and tell me if you got a crush on a little boy. Yes,
exactly.
I want you to feel comfortable.
But it really starts at home.
It
really does.
Oh, it does.
Because I created that space for my kids. And my son is 13, and as much as he don't want to, he know that once it comes to that point, to be like, I gotta tell mom, and then it'd be like an exciting thing for him because he knows that like
and he's just grown so much.
But it's like a thing like, okay, I gotta tell you something. You know, don't get mad. Like that type of environment. So whereas it's like he feels comfortable to come and talk to me. And we created like that space to where like I feel like if he was to go to therapy, it'd be like.
And it really depends on the therapist too, because not all therapy is good therapy.
That's true.
Just like not all church is good church.
Absolutely not.
And even outside of dating, like in my household, we didn't talk about a lot of like emotional things. So now it's to the point, like me and my sister both, like we're on my mother about stuff like you did that hurt me when you did that, or like I don't like when you do that, and she like in the beginning she could not take it, and it's like, and it always hurts to see your parent hurt. So it's like it got harder, but no, we on top of it.
We gotta, and that's gotta break those generational curses.
Because that's how she is with my grandmother. My grandmother is mean. Like she,
yours too.
You would think a grandmother not supposed to know.
No, I think grandmas back in the day were different.
Oh yeah,
bless my grandma's heart, but goddamn, I sat on that girl's couch one time. You know, with the plastic.
Right.
How you get your ass beat when you sit on plastic? Like,
yes.
Yeah,
I
they
get
definitely
it.
cut different.
They're different.
And I think for me, because for the most, like, I think for a few of us, we didn't grow up in a household where we could express ourselves. So my fear is that as our kids grow up, I'm not going to be able to like adequately tell them this is how you should act and stuff like that. So getting that professional extra help to communicate that, I'm open to therapy. Because I'm kind of like you, like I'm telling my mom certain things now because I'm like, I'm grown. You can't beat me.
That part.
You can't beat me. Even my dad, like he gets upset, like you can't beat me.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yes,
and
father dear.
They get upset.
Like you're in my house.
Exactly. Like I tell them about themselves now, and they appreciate it, but they also get upset. And it's like, I can't do nothing. No,
because
I'm a whole mother now.
They were just doing the best. I feel like you realize like your parents weren't superheroes, but like I was like, wait, hold on, because when I was 12, like there's some things, but
yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine having children.
She said that. It's definitely a whole different
ball game.
Yes, it really is. It's definitely like really molding as well. Like it makes you be like, dang, I didn't know I was capable of this.
Right.
Being a mom, be like, dang, where my cape at?
I know. Seriously.
For real.
No, because y'all deserve. Mothers deserve. I still call my mom. Every day, right, Mom?
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah, I call my mom too. And
Yeah.
she's like, Keisha, you
I
probably
don't.
know
She just
the
called me
answer to that,
twice.
right?
Yeah.
And you ain't answer, so
No,
she called back, right?
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I move out next week, and my mother's like, "Are you gonna call me every day?" I was like, "For what?" Like we just don't have like it's a work in progress. But
Yeah,
we just don't
it's
have that
definitely a work in
Yeah,
progress.
it
'Cause I
is.
feel like my mother and I, we weren't as close when I lived with her,
Right.
and it wasn't until
Right.
I moved out.
But
and
you
got
guys
married.
have like your parent, like your father in the house too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
He's
makes
not
a
different.
difference. Like
Yeah.
I feel
I
like I,
didn't
was
communicate
really
with him either.
no, but I feel like it just makes a difference because like it was just me and my mom for a few
Oh,
like some
so
years.
that's y'all was
Like she grew up and I was growing up.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I just think that makes
That
it
is,
a little
no,
bit
that's
is.
that's true that you mentioned because even you
Yeah.
know Troy,
yeah.
her and her mom are, and I love their relationship because they're so close, and I was like, that's what I want for Tegan because she literally tells her mom everything. And there's no judgment. There's no.
Yeah.
There's more like her basically educating her.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
hopefully my parents won't listen. But like, for example, who was it? Crystal, the baby. When my mom and I we went to Nigeria 2016, she got her period, so it was just my dad. Instead of her comforting her, the first thing he says like, you can get pregnant, right? I'm like, what the? My mom was so upset because when all of us got our period, like she educated us, she gave us a calendar and stuff like that. He was just very like, you can get pregnant right now. So
Oh my
be
gosh.
careful. I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
That's one of those where you gotta critique at that point.
Yes. So like you said, like at 12 years old, like little things I bring up to him like, Dad, you need to communicate better. Especially like now that Tegan is like, she's still young, but as she grows up, because even now he's kind of hard on her. Like, why is she crawling? Why is she? Leave her alone. Let her walk in her walker. I'm like, Dad, her feet is not even touching the ground. Like, relax, So it's like I'm teaching him.
I picture him saying all of that.
Seriously.
With the straight face.
With the
What is going on?
I'm like,
We're going to walk out. She'll be fine.
I'm like, Dad, relax. So like now, like as I'm older, I'm letting them both know. Like, listen, I know you have 5 kids, 6 kids, but I need to learn my way.
Yeah.
You guys did it your way.
And I'm gonna
Parenting
tell
evolves
you what you did
though,
wrong.
and I think I hope and pray that it's evolving for the better.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
feel like our parents have gotten a little bit better, and
Yeah.
from our parents,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
know what I mean. Like it just kind of gets better as you guys go along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're still stuck in their ways.
Who?
Because even like,
Grandparents.
Oh
yeah,
girl.
because even like the pediatrician was like, when you're introducing new foods, she said, try one food every 3 days to check for allergies.
Yeah.
That flew out my mother's window.
Yeah.
She's fed her chicken, broccoli, carrot, and
What's she like? What is she like?
She loves all of it, especially apples. I said, Mom, you gotta do this one by one. Did I do that with any of you guys?
Right.
Yeah.
They love using that.
Yeah.
They love.
But
You turned out okay.
But
Like you
right.
said, you want to parent your way.
way.
Yeah.
So if that was a hard boundary for you, it's okay if that was an issue because
Tegan
it's
has
your
seen
child.
everything.
That is what I'm not ready
Everything.
for those conversations.
Yes.
Ma, you got it.
That's
Like,
what I've learned to pick my battles. Like, you
Yeah.
got it.
Because I told Charelle,
Nope. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm
she
not
leave me
picking no
alone with
battles with
Saint. He
that.
gonna be eating chocolate pudding.
Yeah.
You gonna be eating
I'm telling
broccoli.
you.
Nope.
I'm be like, put it
You
in
say that
the
now
tongue.
until he starts eating. I'm telling you. You say that now. I'm telling
She
you.
like, look.
I feel like I'd rather you just tell me what he ate.
I'm
Like,
Just give me a list.
yes, right.
Yes.
She's like, this
container.
container.
You don't gotta worry about nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh,
Eat
it's
this first.
organic.
I'm telling you, I was the same way. The same way when I walked up the stairs, she was eating yam and stew. I said,
oh, she was.
She had some eating everything. Oh my god.
she's eating everything.
She going
African.
That's why
American.
Tegan.
Like,
That's why Tegan's cheeks are like.
yes, exactly.
Marshmallow
Thick thighs and everything. I'm just like, so trust me, I
That's
was
funny.
the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was the
but
same
if-
way. You're gonna walk up the stairs. And you're gonna
I
see.
will say so far that both parents have been very respectful of like
Of what y'all
of
want.
what we want.
Yeah. That's
yes,
good.
and how we want it. And I feel like it started because we had a home birth already.
Oh,
out the
yeah, they
gate.
already know
they,
that.
they had to be on, like they
Yeah.
had to be with it.
Yeah.
They didn't want it, but if y'all want to be a part,
Yeah.
you got to be with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
So-
that's because of what you two created.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
established those boundaries
Right.
and guidelines early.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep.
Oof.
All
I
right,
think
Burley.
this was great. Yeah. Thank you guys for all coming today. We gotta do this again. This
Yes.
was
It
fun.
was.
Really nice.
And make sure
Hopefully
the camera don't cut
listeners
off
like
on
it.
Bree.
I should did that on purpose.
I know. Well, thank guys
beautiful.
for listening, and hopefully we'll hear you all hear us again.
Yes,
Definitely
thank
will,
you.
because we lit.
Fine.